I'm sure you'll agree with me when I say that I think Brooks Koepka is the current best golfer in the world. There was an article recently when he spoke about something called the PGA Method. This is something that he thinks about every time he approaches the golf ball, and it's to do with the posture, the grip and the aim. So PGA not being what you think it is, it's posture, grip and aim. I'm going to look a little bit deeper into this. Let's get into it. So what is a good posture? Posture is something that I think is highly sought after, but in a lot of instances we see such irregularities between golfer to golfer. I don't think, in my personal opinion, it matters as much as what people think. The conventional perfect golf posture, the way to achieve it, I always teach people, is that we start bolt upright, we tilt from the hips keeping the back straight, which means the posterior comes out a little, we take our golf stance and then we add a bit of knee flex. So this to me is like the conventional neutral posture type thing. But I've seen good golfers such as Tommy Fleetwood with a little bit of curve at the top of the spine. I think that's just the way that his back is. And we see other golfers, as taught by George Gankus, with the pelvis a little bit more underneath as opposed to tucked out. Two postures I want you to avoid at all costs. Firstly, we've got the S posture. So you can see that in my body there we have the S posture. This means that the lower back, there is a curve in it which creates an S in my spine and my legs. This is one that I want you to avoid. This puts a hell of a lot of pressure on the lower back and can lead to back problems. Another one that I want you to avoid is the C posture, which is where we get the shoulders bunched, extremely unathletic looking position, and you can see that this creates a C with my spine. So as much as you can, avoid those two postures. If you are someone with back problems, a posture that I will recommend for you is based on the neutral golf posture that we spoke about earlier, but what I would recommend to you, instead of getting into more S, I want you to feel as though these hips tuck a little bit more underneath. So what that should do is put a little bit more emphasis on your glutes and your hamstrings, and it saves a bit in your lower back. So posture wise, if you're hurting with back problems, this is something that I recommend for you. So that is posture. Secondly, we've got the grip. Now, grip is relative. If you've not already watched my grip and wrist angles video, which should be on my channel only, I think probably the last video that I did before this one, please make sure you go and do so, because it could be very helpful for a lot of you. But grip is very dependent on the golfer. So I've seen golfers with very strong grips, and by that I mean left hand very much on top, right hand underneath. I've seen golfers with very weak grips, such as Jordan Spieth, where he gets his left hand into a position where you don't see many knuckles and you get his right hand kind of neutral on top. Very dependent on the golfer and very dependent on their wrist angle. So for more information on this, please go to my grip and wrist angles video. One thing that I will say though with the grip is that it's imperative that in the left hand grip, instead of getting it into the palm, we get it into the base of the fingers. Okay, and then hopefully twisted round so that we see a couple of knuckles just like that. Right hand for me, there's no benefits to 10 finger interlock or overlap. I probably need to study this a little bit further just to see what the slight incremental differences are. However, between golfer to golfer, I'm not bothered if you, at this moment in time, 10 finger interlock or overlap. So as long as we've got that position in the left hand correct, position of the right hand grip correct, then I'm not bothered. One massive thing, however, that I see so many golfers struggle with is the grip pressure. I see so many golfers absolutely throttle that grip as hard as they can, and that directly contributes to a lack of club head speed, because we need to take all pressure out here in order to get all energy out to that side. So when we think about creating a lot of club head speed, we need to go super light with the grip pressure in order to get all energy out to that club head. If you start to choke it as hard as you can and you get really stiff and rigid, strikes go, speed goes, everything. So keep that grip pressure extremely nice and light, and then you will get better strikes, more club head speed. So that is the grip part. And finally, aim. So we've covered posture and grip, the P and the G. Now all is left to think about is the aim. Now this is the interesting one. For a golfer with a delivery which is extremely square, with an extremely square club face, I would advise them to set up like this. You put a ball to target line, stick down, just like that, and then we set our body up, everything, which includes our shoulders, hips, knees, feet, parallel to the left of that ball to target line. You don't aim your body to the target, because as soon as we aim our body to the target, like that, our ball to target line shifts too far to the right. So for a lot of people who slice it and can't get it started left, this being the main reason for that. What I will say about aim, however, it's not the be all and end all like a lot of people suggest it to be. And what I mean by that is, how much sense does it actually make for someone that draws the golf ball, let's say in this instance 10 yards, to aim straight at the target? If you know that you're going to deliver that club, which results in a curvature of 10 yards to the left, why on earth would you aim straight at the target? Surely you'd aim 10 yards right. And then people will come up to you on the golf course and say, oh, you're aiming a bit right, mate. But yeah, it's functional. it's all about being functional. So if you are someone that sees a 30-yard slice, firstly I would recommend that you go get some lessons to straighten it out. But if you are someone that just wants to cope with that 30-yard slice, there is no shame, no harm in aiming 30 yards left of your target. If you can guarantee that that ball is going to curve back onto that target, the correct place to aim is 30 yards left. Similarly, if you're the guy with the 10-yard draw, the correct place to aim is 10 yards right. So aim, although for many people they think that you should be aimed straight at the target, depending on how you deliver the golf club, the correct aim could be left, could be right. It's all dependent on your ball flight and how you are best going to get that ball back to target. So that shot there was a great example. I've aimed for the tree on the left, which is 15 yards left of my target, allowing for my 15-yard fade to fade back onto target. If you don't hit the ball dead straight, it does not make sense for you to aim straight. So there we go, that is the PGA method as briefly spoken about by Brooks Koepka in an interview before his recent US PGA victory. So if you've liked this video, please like, share and subscribe. Hopefully I've shed a little bit of light there and hopefully busted a couple of myths that are knocking around in the golf world. Like this video if you've enjoyed it. Feel free to share it around. If you want to share it around, you know, tag a couple of friends in it. Hopefully this could give them a little bit of help and a little bit of direction moving forward. Until next time, thanks for watching. Cheers. Posture, grip, aim. There we go.